this time, we'll observe a moment of silence. Thank you. I hit the dead spot in that thing. Look at that. At this time, call the Mountain Grove City Council for April the 8th, 6 p.m. to order. Council, in front of you, you have some minutes. There's also minutes from regular, and then there's also some special minutes. Ooh, Bobby. I did something.
Sorry.
Sorry, never mind. All right, unless we have any corrections or amendments to the minutes, I'd entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? And do we need a separate one for the special, or can we do them all together?
You can do it all together.
Okay, done, all together, okay. Next thing, we have Chief Gibbons here, report on the fire department.
This evening.
Wonderful, thank you.
Yeah. Well, March was a busy month for us. We ran 127 calls, with 19 of those being outside fires, somewhere in the ballpark of probably 150, 200 acres in March. Kind of goes along with February. We're officially using the report writing software that we purchased. It's everybody loves it. So much easy use. Helps out tremendously. We've ordered and received the new AED that I was tasked with ordering for the pool. Started the first step in the Fire 1 and 2 class. We're currently using the senior center until the station renovation's done. We've got 16 or 17 students in there, and 10 of those are from right here in Mountain Grove. So everybody's doing well, taking their classes, taking their quizzes and tests and stuff online, and we're getting more hands-on and in the actual classroom time, so that's good. And you know, we've been working on the new building as time allows between all the calls that we've been getting. Hopefully it slows down, but I don't see that happening. Doesn't matter how much rain we get, apparently the grass is going to burn around here. So, I told Becky this afternoon, I actually reached out to Convoy of Hope. I've gotten a pallet of drinking water and a pallet of some kind of sports drink they give to fire departments for free for rehab, especially with the summer months coming up. It's getting warmer, you know, we're going to need water. So took that on and went ahead and contacted them, and we're picking that up on Wednesday. So I also got contacted today. It's in the early stages, but I believe we're going to be doing a CPR class for Duraline. About 20 people. So people still need it, so we're going to provide it. Other than that, and being busy and running around like a chicken with my head cut off, that's all the highlights of the last month.
It's been a busy month.
It
Been
has.
busy.
A lot of grass fires.
Yeah.
Council, have any questions for the chief?
You said a CPR class that you'll be doing for Duraline?
Yes, ma'am.
Good.
We actually got contacted today about it, and we're finalizing everything. So should be in the next couple 3 weeks.
I said good because I taught the last one.
Chief, how many weeks on the firefighter 1 and 2?
So with the Fire 1 and 2 class, altogether, it's 240 hours, I believe it is. We're doing 4-hour increments, Tuesdays and Thursday nights, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Hazmat's a little different. We only need one Saturday to do the final skills so they can go take the state test. In Fire 1 and 2, it'll be Tuesday, Thursday, and every other Saturday for 8 hours. So it'll go the fire part of it will start in June and go to the end of October. So
So is that 8 hours a week, or 4 hours, and then eight hours on Saturday?
It's 8 hours in the classroom, but they're also, it's an online platform, so they're able to get on there and view
Okay.
the slides
Okay,
and,
okay.
you know, ask questions and stuff and take the quizzes and the tests and everything. So we're gonna do a written, midterm and a final, just to kind of see where they are.
And then all that 8 hours on Saturday's hands-on?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, thank you.
So,
Council, anything else? Appreciate it, Chief.
Thank you.
Then we have Chief Bledsoe with the Police Department.
Good evening. Busy month for us as well. Almost 900 calls for service for the month. That's kept us plenty busy right there, but we've also started a new group of guys coming through our special operations group. They just started training last week, so we've been hitting that pretty hard. We've got four from our department going through it out of 7, I believe. So they're receiving training, lots of firearms training, lots of physical agility, and they're hammering away on it. So
Is that the one down by West Plains? Is that who's doing it?
no,
Where do you do?
no, we're doing this at our range.
That's right, okay.
Are you talking about the Wright County
Yes.
Special Ops Group?
Yes.
So you'll have some from other than Wright County also?
Well, the majority is from our department. Yes. So, but been busy. We've executed a couple search warrants. The last one was out in the county. We assisted with it, with the SOG team as well as with our K-9. Located about an ounce of methamphetamines while we were there because the dog's one that located it.
That's a lot, isn't it?
It's a lot. So,
Intent to sell, I guess, or whatever.
yeah. And there was some cash as well, but we like getting that off the street for sure.
Would any of that cash or anything like that, the drugs, does any of that come back to the police department, or is it
It
all?
won't come back for us. It has to be over a certain amount. So most of the time, if it's not over that certain amount, it goes to the schools if they seize it. So,
Okay.
but
Council, have any questions for the chief? Any grants, you're working on some grants now?
I've got some out. We did, all of our guys now, if you see them, they've got their new vest in that we got from our partial, it was a partial grant. All that equipment has finally come in and they're equipped with their new vest. So even animal control has a new vest.
Good,
So,
safety, good.
But-
Hope we never have to use them.
me too.
Great, thank you, sir, appreciate it, be
Can you
safe.
touch, Danny, can you touch on code enforcement just a little bit?
What would you like to know about code enforcement?
How's it going?
So, I mean, as soon as we get the calls, we're trying to take care of them. So,
And what about the ones that were, is there any due towards, if they don't get it cleaned up, what are we doing?
well, obviously, they're cited in court,
Okay,
um,
okay,
and there's been several that have been cited. We've had several that are in compliance. So, I
Yeah.
think the one over by you, there's a big change over there.
in the front, but
Yeah,
not in the
Not
back.
the back, but it's a start.
It's a start,
So-
yeah, yes.
So by the police department doing that, you've had, not 100%, but you've had more people that's trying to clean it up and do stuff.
We've had a lot of compliance,
Right,
Right,
so.
good.
So on the chart, the green is the compliance.
I'd have to look at it again,
Oh,
Zach,
okay.
without it being in front of me, so,
A lot of them are in green, a few are in red, yeah.
our secretary, she takes care of most of that, so
Okay.
she keeps it very organized, so.
it's great.
But as far as that goes, but we're probably gonna get a lot more, because grass is really starting to grow now, so.
Yeah,
But feel free, if you see something, give us a call, let us take care of it. So,
thank you, it's
Yeah,
making a
thanks for
difference,
that.
it is making a difference.
we hope so.
So, one other thing.
Yes, sir.
So if anyone in the community or anyone sees something, what's the proper procedure to
Just-
change, call the
Just
city?
call here to City Hall.
Call
and
City
we will-
Hall.
We will get a work order down to the
Right,
police
right.
department.
So there's no need to call the police department, call City Hall
You
first?
can, yeah. We receive some that through 911 as well, through dispatch,
okay.
Sure.
but
Okay.
we're also out looking for them,
And there is,
Right,
so.
and there is they can go on to our website and
Yep.
make a complaint if they don't feel
Is
comfortable.
that what your
calling.
comment was, Bobby? Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
go on the website and just fill it out, okay.
Mhm.
Good point, I hadn't realized that, okay.
We try to make it as easy as we can, so.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
All right, next we have, senior center report. Becky LaFever is here with some, and before Becky gets started, I don't know what day that was, you had chicken, I was just having come by, and there was a ton of people, and, it's very, very good. You know, it was, I just have to commend the staff and everybody that was there, they did a great job. So, thank you.
Okay, well, as they said, I'm Becky LaFever. I know most of you, some of you I do not, so it's a pleasure meeting. All right, so in front of you, I believe you guys have our report for March. The dining room, we served 2405. That's for 60 and older. And for the under 60, we did 30. For our homebound meals, we done 28.91. And it comes to a total of 53.26.
That's a lot.
I don't know if it's ever been discussed, but I done my numbers today. We serve 109 homebound seniors every week. So that's where our numbers are coming from. We visit them.
Are you still looking for
We
volunteers to help you
always
deliver?
look for volunteers. Yes, we are always in need of drivers. Just our county route, we've got a very reliable driver there, but our in-town route, we have one that's available now. So we are always looking for volunteers for that. And it takes maybe 30 minutes just to
Right.
do the meals.
Right.
So it's really not a long
Becky, how
process or
many-
anything.
If I'm one of the recipients of this, and get home meals delivered, how many meals and how often do they show up?
So it's based on, like, right off the bat, I can tell you, like, if you're 60 and you're homebound, I can tell you you're guaranteed 7 meals. But if you're on Medicaid, they will fight for you to get more meals. So that increases, like, you can get up to 61 a month, I believe, if you're on Medicaid. So that would be 2 boxes of meals a week, which there's 7 meals in each box. So you get 14 meals out of those 2 boxes.
So those meals are not necessarily breakfast, lunch, and dinner,
No,
they're.
there's 1 breakfast in each of the boxes, and then there's the 6 lunch or dinner entrees you choose from.
Okay, all right.
And then with that, I mean, we pack breads and desserts, and then they get a 2% half gallon of milk from us as well.
The milk is probably appreciated.
Yes,
about
most
as much as
definitely.
Everything,
meals,
right,
yeah.
right. Well, good to know, I didn't ask that, that's good.
And we serve lunch Monday through Friday, 11:30 to
And
12:30.
they,
Online, Facebook, I've put it in the newspaper, and then we also put it in the Somerville Beacon, which that covers multiple counties. So we get people from West Plains, we're getting them from Mountain View. I mean, they'll tell you they drive at least 3 days a week up to eat at our center.
Becky, do you want to tell them some of the things you guys do down there besides serve meals for the seniors?
So we do activities. We play bingo Monday through Thursday from 10 to 11. That's a big hit there. And then, of course, the guys have the pool room all day long. We do cornhole on Tuesday afternoons from 1 to 2. Then there's line dancing on Thursday from 1 to 2. And then we have complimentary breakfast for our regulars. You know, they come in and eat from 8 to 9 on Fridays, and then they stay for the music from 10 to 11. Then we jump right into lunch
and
at
the license
11:30.
office is there on Tuesday?
Yes, they do the driving testing on
Tuesday.
Tuesday. That's been a big hit too.
Did you guys do taxes down there this year?
We
too?
did do that. We start in February and then we go through March. They ended the last week in March.
So who does the taxes, just
It's senior age volunteers. They train these seniors, I mean, they're volunteers, and they just go through a program
and
and
they just have a
get
space,
certified.
a private space where they
Yeah,
come
we
in and
use
do
the
that?
2 front meeting rooms there.
So where is the actual license? Is it in the back?
It's in our small meeting room off the dining hall. So I
Okay.
don't know
It
if
has
you've
a
ever
back
been down
entrance.
there for a meeting or anything.
Is
but-
that the one left of the stage back in there?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
Okay, all right.
Yep.
And they kinda like it there too, cause they like the food.
Absolutely, they've let us know that. They've been busy, so.
Good. So what time of the morning do you ladies get there, start?
The girls in the kitchen start at 7. They're from 7 to 3, and we have 2 full-times and then 1 part-time in the kitchen. And then I show up at 8 and I'm there till 4.
7 to 3 and 8 to 4.
Mm.
All right. Very good, thank you. Council, any questions?
Could you use some help in their back?
We can always use help.
They work, these gals work, I don't see how they do what they do.
The day I was there, I don't
We
need.
do.
Now, I know Brenda goes and volunteers and have other people volunteer doing some you know, she's a drink lady, or, you know, and that things, but, I mean, they can always use that kind of volunteer, but you may need some help.
The meal prep.
I am the
and
new barmaid out there.
That's right. Yes, ma'am, you were known for that.
I said, well, that was funny, since I'd never been in a bar in my life.
The meal prep and the cleanup afterwards is
Yes,
the biggest
it's time consuming, yes.
need down there.
So
And I
there's
can
three.
tell you, if you haven't volunteered to help serve a meal out there, it's really fun.
Well, everyone that usually volunteers, they just say what a blessing is to them. I mean,
Mhm.
there's always eventful things that go down
And
out
on
there.
Friday, they do some music and some dancing.
Yes, they do.
So what time do you serve lunch?
11:30 to 12:30.
11:30 to 12:30. So if a person wants to volunteer to be the barmaid or. the
Like,
drink
I think
lady,
you get there, do you get there around 10:30 occasionally? Is
I
that-
usually get there about 10:30 so I can set up the drink
The carts
cart.
and stuff.
I also put their silverware, roll it up in a napkin so they can just pick it up.
Okay. Well, it is a very good asset for the community. And it's taxpayer supported mostly because we do get some grants. But the council has been gracious enough to keep it going, and I think it's something that our seniors appreciate.
Yes.
And it does draw people, like you said, for people from out of town. When
Multiple
they're here,
counties.
they probably shop and
Right.
do some things too. So.
Right.
And the pool hall was a hit. I was down there that day and it was busy. There was probably 15, 20 guys in there shooting pool.
That's what we
I mean,
average,
the-
18, I think, a day.
The socialization and stuff for the seniors is very important.
very needed.
You know, a lot of those would be
Right.
sitting at home alone in front of a TV. So being there where they can be around other people, and probably the meal they get there is the only nutritious meal that they eat in a day. So it's a good program.
Very good program. Becky, thank you.
You're
Appreciate
very
it.
welcome. Yes, thank you.
Kim has some of a citizen advisory committee on there.
It's their report is attached for you to
Okay.
see.
Yep. Well, I'm not having been able to get this to come up here. Becky, you have that come up, why don't you go ahead and go through that?
Want me to go
Jamie,
through it?
yeah, Jamie is
Sure.
the liaison for the
Okay.
council
Yeah.
with that group, so.
Yeah, I just,
So I spoke to Preston today actually, and they meet usually the Monday, like a week ago from today. So they meet about a week ahead. And I gave them our last couple items for our strategic planning to kind of give them some food for thought, some things to give feedback on. So they gave us some ideas for city cleanup and business development. So I gave them just those two things, and Preston and I were talking about this today, about how I like to be a little bit vague on some of the things that also helps us know if we're on track with the things that we're doing in the city. Because if we give them a little bit too much, then I'm afraid it's just going to become not as valuable. And then also, obviously, any ideas that we haven't explored yet. Because a lot of the things too, if they're coming up with ideas that we're already doing, that also tells me that we need to do a better job about making sure that our community knows what things are being done. So the area for city cleanup, some of the points that they came up with during their discussion is enforcement of current codes to ensure proper compliance, and we've obviously really ramped that up. A way for residents to access trash disposal sites with ease, so street side. Increase the volume of trash disposal for citizens in need, so that large waste disposal, school and the local church cleanup volunteering, and increase regularity of the citywide cleanup days. So that's what they came up with, just some bullet points, and I figure when we have our strategic plan, our next strategic planning meeting, we can kind of dive into that a little bit more. And then for business development, they kind of toss around some ideas, and Preston said it was pretty much like nothing kind of conjoined because it's such a big idea. And so I told him for their next meeting, I would give them maybe some like pillars or areas to within business development that they can toss around a little bit more, and then get us some more feedback, and then whatever else they'll discuss, which we might have some direction for them after tonight's meeting or even after the next strategic planning meeting. But he said the last meeting wasn't as well attended, just because a lot of people were unavailable, and that was also, if y'all
Busy
remember, that
time.
was right before that storm came through, and people were being a little bit more conservative about their travel and stuff too. So he said there was about 4 people, so 3 other people and him at the last meeting, but they still got a lot of great ideas, even with fewer attendance that time. But yeah, so that's what we got from them.
Amy, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Danny, are there any public comments on the sheet? What's all this here on public comments? No, sir. That's the houses? Okay. All right, Becky, if you're gonna talk to us about grant updates in the square rehab right there, go right ahead.
So as far as the grant updates, the Twin Cities Sewer Project, that project has been awarded to Courtney. The project is moving ahead. What's required with that is a pre-construction meeting, and that's actually, it's at 10 o'clock. I meet with them tomorrow morning. The main reason for that is that because it's part of the grant, it's very strict on how they record their labor hours and that type stuff, and so we go over all of that in the morning in that pre-construction meeting. The Lake Lily project, we are still waiting on BNSF. I don't remember if I told you at the last meeting, they actually turned down our permit based on that it wasn't going, that they didn't want, they were worried about the runoff from it, but that's what this grant is supposed to address. So they resubmitted it, and it sounds like it's gonna go through, but like I said, they're very slow, so we can't put it out for bids until they issue that permit, so we're still waiting on that. Bulldog project, Toth is recording the easements, and then we will bid that. We did have a representative for DRA, which is the Delta Regional Authority, which Twin Cities Sewer Project and the Bulldog project both has money coming from the Delta Regional Authority. So they sent a representative down to see the projects, look at all of our paperwork, make sure we were on course to finish the projects, because both of those projects have to be completed August, and Bulldog is November. So we're gonna be cutting it close to get all these done by the deadline, but we should be able to complete those. And that's pretty much where we're at.
Okay, any questions for Becky on that? Okay, we'll move on to new business. Bill 2024-06, election results, first and second reading. Do we need to go through that first, Becky?
What?
On the numbers and everything? Will we do that
She will do that on
whenever she reads them all?
Mhm.
Okay, all right. Have a motion to proceed with the first reading of 2024-06.
Motion.
Have a motion, have a second?
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Kim, if you'll read that.
Sorry, I wasn't prepared to read it.
Usually I'm the one that has to, Kim, but this is the one that you have to do.
Nobody told me, sorry. Okay, so you want me to read the whole kit and caboodle
I would
here?
read the first, you'll read that first line and then read the results at the bottom.
That first paragraph and then the results. Read this and then that down there.
This,
Okay.
okay. An ordinance to certify the results of the municipal election of the city of Mountain Grove, Wright in Texas County, Missouri, held on April 2nd, 2024, for the offices set out herein. Alderman Ward 1, Eric Friend, Wright County 53 votes, Texas County 8 votes. Carolyn Mitchell, Wright County 95 votes, Texas County 32 votes. Alderman Ward 2, Mark Vachon, 49 votes. Mark Boyd, 25 votes. Alderman Ward 3, Brenda Clark, 36 votes. Christy DeVault, 19 votes. Wayne Jones, 32 votes. Jeremy Hansen, 10 votes. Alderman Ward 4, Sarah Forrest, 26 votes. Dale Atchison, 40 votes. Bobby McLeod, 23 votes.
Okay. Motion to accept?
Motion.
And the question,
Oh,
What?
question. Oh, and Zach Hurt, Alderman Ward 3, for 1 year, 84 votes. City of Mountain Grove, question number 1. Wright County, 312 yes votes. Texas County 35 yes votes. No votes were 115 in Wright County and 6 in Texas County.
So what's the
This is
bottom?
where that's where it's added together.
Okay, okay. All right. So now, we got all that, we're done with that, now we need a motion to accept.
Motion.
Motion to accept, second?
Second.
Second, all in favor?
It's an ordinance, you gotta go roll call.
Oh, roll call, Sarah?
Yes.
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 Okay. Now,
Motion.
second,
Second.
second, all in favor to proceed?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, one more time.
See if I do better this time. An ordinance to certify the results of the municipal election of the city of Mountain Grove, Wright and Texas County, Missouri, held on April 2nd, 2024 for the offices set out herein. Alderman Ward 1, Eric Friend, Wright County 53, Texas County 8. Carolyn Mitchell, Wright County 95, Texas County 32. Alderman Ward 2, Mark Bashong, 49. Mark Boyd, 25. Alderman Ward 3, Brenda Clark, 36. Christy DeVault, 19. Wayne Jones, 32. Alderman Ward 4, Sarah Forrest, 26. Dale Atchison, 40. Bobby McLeod, 23. Zach Hurt for 1 year in Ward 3, 84. City of Mountain Grove, question number 1, yes, was 312 in Wright County, 35 in Texas. No votes were 115 in Wright County and 6 in Texas.
Okay. Motion to accept,
Motion.
second,
Second.
Sarah, how do you vote?
Yes.
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 Okay, all right. Now, the clerk will swear in the new officers. So if the officers will, the new council will come up, and that would
Stand
be,
here in front, yeah.
that would be Carolyn Mitchell, Mark Boyd,
After
Brenda
they
Clark,
swear 'em in.
and Dale Atchison, and Zach Hurt.
Mark Bushel.
Mark
Pardon?
Bashong.
Mark Bushong. Did I say Mark Boyd? Mark
Yes.
Bushong.
You guys need to stand up here
Yeah.
facing the audience. Stand right up here facing the audience.
And I'll move.
Oh, Zach, yeah, you gotta go.
Yeah, get up there, because you have to hold your hand up.
Okay, raise your right hand. I state your name.
I, Mark Bushel,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution and laws of the state of Missouri
and the Constitution and laws of the state of Missouri
and the ordinances of the city of Mountain Grove,
and the ordinances of the city of Mountain Grove,
and that I will faithfully demean myself in the office of Alderman,
and that I will faithfully demean myself in the office of Alderman,
so help me God.
so help me God.
You're official.
Thank you.
And I need you all to sign afterwards, okay?
Okay, yes, make sure you give her a sign. Congratulations on, Sarah, thank you very much. Appreciate your
Yes.
service to the citizens of Mountain Grove. Thank you. Mark, you sit right there, and then Dale can sit right there. Zach, and then we'll get moving, okay?
Sit down and behave, Dale. It's time.
Okay, now, planning and zoning recommendations for lot located west of 502 West Fifth Street, planning and zoning minutes, plans. Becky, I'll let you talk about that.
I mean, you have the minutes in front of you, so this is a lot, that's located off of Fifth Street, but it's kind of back. This is the same lot that council had previously approved an apartment complex to be built. Mike Anthony was gonna do it. The board had approved it, council had approved it, and then he never did go through with it. The gentleman that's doing it now is here, but he went to the zoning board. They went through the public hearing. And the zoning board has recommended to change right now it's a C2. To be able to put a multifamily complex there, it has to be changed to R3. And it is the recommendation of the zoning board to grant that change so that he can construct that there.
Okay, so do we need to just make a motion to change that?
To approve the recommendation of the zoning board, correct?
Motion.
Okay,
Because the plan,
right,
Second.
okay.
So you have a motion and a second.
okay,
So do we know, as you said, it's back towards, so it's closer to Third Street, is the,
Fifth Street.
well, you said the address Fifth Street, you said it's more closer to
It's
Dollar
closer to
General.
Fifth.
Okay.
it's right behind the state.
So the
I'm just
entrance-
trying to explain
I
kind
s-
of the
So the entrance
location
will
of
still
it.
be on Fifth
The-
Street?
So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
up just past the state school?
Correct,
Right.
correct, yeah.
And there's, where Ellen Dewey lived, there's a little
Yes.
open space and then this.
Right,
And then butts up to,
the
the
Ridgecrest
Dollar
Department.
I mean, there
General.
are,
backside.
the board
On the
has
backside,
asked him
yes.
to address some concerns about, water runoff, those types of things, but he will
Yeah.
be working with, once he submits plans and stuff, we'll be looking at all of that, but before he does any of that, the board would need to approve this for us to move ahead with
So
city.
where it says here, the person who asked the question doesn't say the answer, was that all?
That was the only,
satisfied,
yeah, that
basically?
was the only person that, we have to hold the public hearing first.
Mhm.
Everyone within 185 feet were provided with a letter and asked, was given the opportunity to come to the public hearing. And if I remember, that was the
So-
only one that was there
Yeah,
for the
that's what
meeting,
it
was the
said.
lady from the Head Start.
Does it say if her question was answered?
I mean, I
I
feel-
can answer
So
that
like-
for you, okay, because we're friends and I spoke with her yesterday and asked her, were your addresses concerned and, your concerns addressed, sorry. And yes,
Good.
she was just concerned that, she wanted to protect the Head
Sure.
Start kids.
Sure.
And of course, I explained to her that that's up to the department and, management.
Right.
And she's confident that they will screen them and.
Yeah, I think he
it won't be a
answered her
concern.
questions.
Yeah.
and-
Yes,
yeah.
she felt,
Yeah.
she felt okay about it.
okay, we have a motion and a second. Webb made the motion, who made the second? Carolyn, okay. So, let's do a voice vote. Mark, how do you vote?
Yes.
Dale?
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Dale, you'll realize, now, Mark's been here enough to know that whenever I mess up, Becky tells me or Kim tells me. So we kinda do a voice vote or a hand vote, but on the important stuff, we kinda do a voice vote, so.
Sure.
She kinda keeps me in line, okay? All right, moving right along. City officials training, Becky?
That, Kim just put that information on there. This is especially important for anyone new, as a new alderman. You are supposed to get 8 hours of training in, and this particular one that is being put on by Lauber Law, they're excellent. They put on a great, program. They're doing it in Mansfield, so there's not very many opportunities that you have to go to training that you don't have to drive to Jeff City or something. So, if you would like to attend that training, Kim just needs to know, and she will let them know that you plan to attend. So it is on Friday, May 3rd, at the Mansfield Community Center. The doors open at 8:30. You adjourn at 2 o'clock. I mean, it would be good for any of you that wanna go, since it's close, but especially for anyone new on the council, it would be really helpful.
I think I'm gonna go to that one, cause
Can
The
we go
lawyers
to
are
one of the
interested.
other dates?
Sure,
Okay.
yeah.
Cause I can do the one in Springfield on the 17th.
Yeah,
so
I mean, even the Springfield one is better than
Yeah.
having to drive to
I know, I
Jeff
looked
City
at
for
Jeff
something.
City and I was like, oh, yeah.
But we
that'll
probably
be
need to
2.5
let them know
hours
as soon as
there.
possible,
Leaving
because
it.
these classes will fill up.
So,
Okay.
Jamie, you wanna go on the 17th?
I would like to go to
city
the
utilities?
Springfield one on the 17th,
Okay,
yes.
that one, anyone else?
I'll go to May 3rd.
May 3rd, Mansfield.
Yeah, put it
Mark.
down for May 3rd.
May
Zach.
3rd, Zach, Mark,
Brenda,
Brenda.
So will this,
What day is it?
this won't satisfy the 8 hours
but
quite?
it'll be,
That's
it'll
right.
put
It's
you,
a
it'll give
Friday.
you about 4 or 5 there. What is it, 9,
And when do we
3,
need to
5?
have the
That'll
8?
give you 5, sometime
9
in
to
the
2.
year.
Just sometime in the year, okay.
Mhm.
May 3rd.
I might go to one, but I'll have to
May
look
3rd
and
is what, yeah.
see which
Okay.
day.
Do
May
what?
3rd to Mansfield.
Are you gonna try to go
What
down?
time does
May
it start that morning?
Okay.
So we
8:30
have
doors
Mark,
open.
Dale, Zach,
And if you forget it.
myself,
Yeah,
And
the
and
7th
Brenda,
starts
and
at
Brenda
9
on May 3rd. And Jamie is going to,
17th and, yep, and Springfield.
and Carolyn's may give you a time later, okay?
Yeah,
Karen,
I'll
you want,
probably go.
did you wanna look at that, or?
No, we all have it.
It's
Okay.
on here.
I didn't know if there's,
Yeah.
okay.
I haven't been to one in a while.
This girl, there, if you look on there, this Holly Dodge, she is a graduate from Norwood, I think, if that's the one, yep, okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes, I remember, saw that, okay.
The easiest way for you.
All right, Becky has some news. You can, we'll pass this around, or if you can let Kim know. Becky has some update on a water treatment pump truck.
Well,
We're gonna have a ceremony for the pump truck. It died, it's gone.
Well, the pump truck is,
Oh, we knew this
yeah,
was
we keep patching it together to get us by. We are required to, out at the treatment plant, they have to pump off, that liquid that is there at the plant. It's required. DNR requires that we have to keep it below a certain level. The pump truck is vital. We have to have it. Our pump truck is very old. What year? I think our
1988.
Thank you. It's, poor Fred, it keeps piecing it back together. It's hard to get parts for it. It's really something that, as we're going through the budget process, that we're gonna have to budget for. A brand new one is about $200,000.
Wow.
So we're looking at other options to get something used, but something that's not gonna be a headache if we get it. So, we're looking at some options, but just to give you a heads up that that's something we're gonna have to look at for our budget.
What do we do? Are we gonna be able to get by till then? I mean, are we?
So far, we are, you know, some days it's stranded down there along the road until Fred gets it going again, but we're patching it together to get us by until we can get something. So right now, it's
Okay.
running. It might not be tomorrow, but
Right.
today it's running, so
Mark, is it,
it's,
is that pumps it out, or is it just flow out?
It
No,
pumps it out.
it pumps it-
PTO
Yeah,
driven pump.
okay.
yeah.
Okay, all right. So, an old fire truck would work with a tanker on it, but it doesn't have the right,
It has
Push
to be, it has to be a certain size
I've-
tank too, because we can't,
You know, you're probably better off just to buy one built for that. I've been down that road on trying to take a truck and make it into something,
Make it,
and then
okay.
you end up costing you more money in the long run.
cause they just haul that down the road and up by Courtney's up in there, on that field there, right?
They do it several places, and in
Oh.
the past,
We
they
do it
used to
on our
haul it out
own.
east of town here, some places, and
Oh, so it's just not right there? It's-
No.
Oh, okay, all right.
so, no real figures for you yet on that. Just when we found out what a new one cost, we just knew we had to look at other options.
So is you or Fred
Yeah,
Emery looking? You're
Fred
looking?
and, Sean from the treatment plant, so we're looking, but.
I've got some equipment, we can talk about it later on too. I've got basically a brand new pump that when I worked in the oil field, I only used 10 times, I paid 10 grand for. If you got the bobtail equipment, you know, it turns a 5,000 gallon tank into a shop vac. You know, it sucks it in, blows it out, as much as you guys are talking about. So you know, if you do find a tractor for 50,000, you put that pump on there for 5,000, you know, you got it done for 60.
But you gotta have a tank too, right? You have to have a tank, yeah.
Yeah, I've got a tractor trailer tank, but I mean, you want a bobtail tank, you know?
Well, and it can't be over a certain size just because of where we have to spread it.
Right, that's
So
what
we
I'm saying, you
can't,
got to get
yeah,
your
we
bobtail
can't get
tank
it
on
too
a truck,
big,
but
yeah, we
I've got
can't get it too big or. we
a
can't-
Challenger pump system that I can't really, I have to take it to North Dakota to get rid of it, I haven't done that.
Well,
But
yeah,
I
that
bought
may
it
be
brand
something.
new before I
Well,
came
we
home.
would just have to take bids on whatever we do. When it gets
Yeah.
over those amounts, we would just have to take bids on whatever we can find, so. More to come on that one. I just wanted to give you a heads up that was an expense we weren't really expecting right now, but we're gonna have to address it.
Okay, all right, administrative report, if you go to that, Becky, I'll just let you go through those.
Okay, so the strategic plan and budget, I kinda I put in the admin report about changing some dates, but I think I just don't even wanna do the date on April 11th. I feel like we have new people on the council, and that's kinda quick to throw a budget at them and expect them to come in and be ready to make decisions and stuff on it. I would like to get the budget out to everybody in the next few days and then meet on maybe like the 23rd 23rd. Let me look here. It's on a Tuesday night. Yeah, the 23rd.
Not that Monday, but the 23rd.
If that would, that's a Tuesday. If that would work, because, and what I would like to do, if everybody's willing, is kind of start the meeting with, to finish up some of our strategic planning, and then go into the budget workshop the same night. It's really hard. This is a busy time of year with sports, and we're coming up on all the May stuff. So I thought if we could combine it all, it might be a little bit longer evening, but if we could do it all on the 23rd, that would allow us to give the new people a little more time to look at the budget.
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock on the 23rd.
23rd, okay.
But we'll have a copy of the budget ahead of time
Yes,
to
I'm gonna
review,
get
so,
that, yeah.
okay, all right.
But I get on the 11th, when they're just getting sworn in today, is a little bit, that's a lot to put on everybody, so.
So you're wanting to do strategic plan and budget meeting on the 23rd, starting
Yeah,
at 6
and we may
o'clock.
have to have another budget meeting, you know, we don't pass the budget until June, so we may have another budget meeting after that, but this would at least get everybody started on it.
That'll work, okay.
Does that work?
Go right ahead.
Okay, Lake Street property, that is our new fire station. Kinda like what we talked about earlier, the project is taking a little longer than we planned because our guys are working on it, and our guys are also the fire department and the parks department, and the parks department gets called off on other things they have to do, and our fire department has had a ton of grass fires, and so they're constantly getting called out. So it's taking a little longer, so we probably aren't gonna be ready to have an open house May the 4th, but it probably won't be too long after that. Wednesday, they're coming to put the new doors in. I mean, it's moving along. Feel free to stop by there, look at the building, see the progress. Chief will be glad to take you through. But it's moving along. Demolition list. Let me circulate this. These are proposed houses for condemnation. The first one on the list is a commercial building. This is just the start of the list. This is what Chief Gibbons has submitted to me. We're probably gonna be adding or kind of whatever the council decides to do on these, but
And
this
this
is
is
the
a
start.
new list?
This is a new list.
Okay.
Oh, has demolition started on the current list that?
Yeah, that we already awarded that bid.
I knew we did, but I didn't know when they were
Yeah,
gonna
they have
start.
60 days to get it all completed, and they've
Okay.
started, yeah.
Oh, they have started.
Yeah, it
I
was-
drove around looking at some last week, but I didn't.
Well, they have 60 days to
First
complete
one's
them. He came
commercial
and signed his
building, office
contracts,
square.
last week or week before, so he's got 60 days from that time to get them all
Yeah,
done.
okay.
The 117 East Second, that is the commercial building here on the square that doesn't have a roof. You guys have talked about that building. And then the rest of them is self-explanatory. Like the one on Wall, if you cross Wall Street, cross the tracks, it's that big 2-story house right across the tracks there on the left. I mean, what it's really gonna come down to is how much the council, if you want these on here, if you wanna add some to it, it's gonna come down to what you guys really want to budget and continue to budget for this process. Because most of the time, you're not getting the return on these, so it's basically coming out of the city's budget to do this.
And how long would the process be to change the process? Like, if we clean it up, isn't there a way we can put lien on it or something?
Process that we're working
Are we-
on
we're
the ones that
working
have
on that.
already been done.
Okay.
Which is, I mean, that's the process we'll do, but whether we ever get that investment back, it remains to be seen.
Okay, but we don't have to do something else before we can do this?
But you
Okay,
guys,
sorry.
basically, what it comes down to, though, is every time we do one of these, you're having to make the assumption that the city possibly is not gonna get their money back out of these.
Right.
Whatever we spend on condemning and tearing these down, there's a potential that the city will not recover that money.
Right.
So you're basically budgeting for that. So it may come down to a point where we're gonna have, we're gonna buy a pump truck, you know, we're gonna have some stuff at the treatment plant. Are we gonna continue to do these every year? Do we need to, you know, I don't know where your priorities wanna stay with the condemnation process. We've made a lot of progress in that regard. Mark, you were here during a lot of that. We've torn down a lot of houses, a lot of
Several,
it.
I'd be curious how much, all the years that I've done it, I think we only got paid for 2, and only got, the one that had the lien on it and sold, the city forgave the lien.
So, Larry, what do we need to do on this? I mean, I know we need to go to small.
How do we get our money, Larry?
Go ahead.
How do we get our money?
We can file a lien against the property, and if it ever sells, we get our money. And I think there's a way probably, I think the law changed on that, that we can also take the property and it becomes city property.
Okay.
Cause we were gonna do the process before, but we kinda got held up a little bit by some things.
So what is the process on that? Do you know if the law changed on?
I'm not for sure on that. I need to look at that,
Okay.
the new one.
Okay, I'd be curious to know what that process
I got
is.
some good news for you though. The big house across on the wall right there on the left.
Yes?
I bought that.
Oh, okay. So we're condemning one of your houses?
I'm gonna tear it down.
Okay, well, good.
Well,
One less to worry about.
because we have, I don't, the stack is probably that thick of all the ones that this council has approved to tear down. And, you know, we kinda need to do something. Mark banged his head against the wall before trying to figure out what to do.
I think it's a
You
great program, and I think it's important to clean up, you know, as far as cleaning up the town. I think we've made a lot of good progress in this regard, but I don't know, you as a council's gonna have to decide if that's still where you wanna prioritize your money, in the budget to keep, you know.
The people that own them ought to be the ones paying for it.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's the thing. You know, the city stepped in and done some of that, but it's really not the taxpayers of the town to do that. It should be the owners. And, you know, something needs to be done, and we tried, but maybe now the law's changed, we can do something.
I'll follow up on that.
Yeah, let's find out
I'll
what
let
that
Becky know.
process is about, at least if we were able to take the property.
Yeah.
Then we can sell it and recover some money out of it, so.
I don't know how the
that's-
rest of you
Can-
feel, but
Can we go back to all the ones we've tore down on that, Larry, if that's right?
Probably not at this point, but I'll look at that as well.
But you ought to be able to put a lien on them anyway, shouldn't you?
Mhm.
Yeah, we can probably do the lien.
If they owe us money, we can't go back, you don't think?
I don't think so.
But we could still
But I'll look at
file,
it.
Okay.
maybe suit against them for the money that we've been out to do
Can
that.
you
but-
remind,
Sorry.
can you remind us of what the average cost is to tear one down? Do you
I
know the
mean, right
average?
now, it depends, now, you get into commercial buildings, it's gonna
Yeah.
cost more.
Okay.
Cause like this commercial building that we're taking down on First Street is gonna run us about
Skid Row.
$10,000. But
My.
it'll
probably
be worth
average,
every penny.
yeah, but probably average is around 5,000.
Okay.
I'd like to see us, as long as we're financially able, I would like to see us continue this.
I do
mean,
too.
is
I
that
think
how you
Carolyn's
guys
right,
feel
but
as
put some
well?
teeth behind it.
Yep.
Yeah, I
Yep.
mean,
Yeah.
because it's just a start to, you know, new.
It's gonna beautify our town,
Yeah.
and that's gonna help.
There's a lot of years of accumulation, and
I know there's some,
personally would like to see it continue.
I know there's some focus to try to go after some of the commercial buildings, but there's also a lot of growth happening on the square, and some people are kind of taking that on themselves on some of the buildings on the square, which is a good thing. But, we will run into more money when we go after the commercial buildings, for sure.
Well, there's some there like the one on the corner. I mean, it looks a whole lot better.
So take some time before the next meeting, look at these that's on the list. It sounds like one of them will be able to take off the list because they're gonna tear it down.
That's convenient.
And these,
Would you like
these,
to buy some
The
more?
chief and I are gonna, the chief and I will be looking at more, driving around, looking at some more houses to see if we need, so we'll probably won't confirm this list until the next meeting, so this gives you time to, and if you see
Right.
something that we're not seeing, let me or Chief Gibbons know and we'll go take a look at it.
now it looks like there's 3 of them. Are we just doing the outbuildings?
Mhm.
Just the outbuildings?
Mhm.
Okay.
And if you look, like the one on Darrell Street, if you go up 9th Street, and then turn left on Darrell, it'll be that first place on your right. And if you drive by it, like, the building is literally crumbling off the backside there, so it's in pretty bad shape. So, take a look at those. when we have the next meeting, we'll try to finalize the list then, if you guys wanna move ahead with it.
Yeah, I definitely think it'd be good to see about being able to take ownership of those properties, because the way I look at it now, if I own a property, I just don't have the money to have it tear down or do anything with, I'm just gonna sit on it
Wait for the city
until,
to do
and wait
it.
for the city to pay for it. Like, I think that's kind of the precedent that's getting started. Like, I totally agree that we need to keep after condemning these buildings and making sure that stuff stays cleaned up, but I definitely think we need to have a little bit more leverage, kind of hold people's feet to the fire, knowing that if you don't keep up your property, if you don't take care of what needs to be taken care of, that you could lose that property.
Well, and
So,
like Mark said, there was one that we ended up forgiving it, you know, because somebody was gonna get it and I think improve on it or something, but if,
Lot wasn't worth what you run
Yeah.
into is a lot of these older houses sit on non-conforming lots.
Yeah.
And so the lots aren't worth what the tear down cost is.
yep,
And that, I think the one that was forgiven, they haven't done anything with it yet either, have they? No. There's another thing too, I think there needs to be some teeth behind it. If
Yeah.
they give it to them, they're gonna have to do it within a certain amount of time.
But I agree with the mayor that the taxpayer shouldn't carry the burden for
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
you know, and
No.
there needs
because
to
at
be
least
some.
if we can get it and sell it
Yeah.
for what we had to
Right.
tear it down for, at least we break even as a city
Yeah.
instead of losing money,
Well, maybe
so.
this new law will.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm really
Answer
interested to
to
hear
our
what that is,
problem
cause that would be nice, I think that would help,
That'd be good, okay.
help that issue.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Chief Gibbons. I was contacted today by an individual, sent me 4 pictures of trailers over there where you live. They say they're unrentable, they say they're in bad shape and nobody's living in them, they're not gonna live in 'em. And I'd like to see if you could kinda do assessment over there where you're at and see.
I typically just drive down the driveway.
I understand that, yeah.
Yeah, I'll open my eyes.
I've got the pictures and I'll show them to you.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, moving on, square rehab project, I think you guys have probably all been around the square and seen the progress, it is moving along, it's looking really nice up there. If the weather holds this week, he should get all of the sidewalks finished. We had to take out a couple of trees that were dying, and one of the trees, there's a plaque next to it that this tree was planted in memory of someone. So we bought some big trees, replaced those trees, which we had told people that we would when we took those out. So those have been planted. The sod, hopefully, will go in next week if we get all of the sidewalks and everything finished this week.
And then it will really look.
Then it'll really look nice.
And I
So-
saw they was working on the electric
The-
yesterday.
The painting that we are taking bids on for the Lake Street property, because I have bids out right now to paint those metal buildings. I included the gazebo to be professionally painted because a lot of it, just from where we did the concrete work and stuff, it was needing repainted anyway, it really does now. So we're gonna repaint the gazebo, so that'll look nice and white and stuff when we get done with it. So that's pretty much it on the square rehab. The airport request for qualifications for you guys that are new. We have a lot of money that's available to us, for airport projects, but we have to get a new, engineer to submit plans for that project. And so we have to put out a request for qualifications and the deadline is April the 12th. And I think we've received 1 or 2 so far.
Is that the ones with Garver and them people?
Mhm.
So it's an engineer type?
You have to set an engineer, the engineer has to submit a 5-year plan to MoDOT, and then that has to be approved to start our grant process.
And Garver was one that did it before.
Garver has submitted requests for
And
qualifications.
there'll be some
this
more,
time.
okay.
And are
Mhm.
we still talking about hangars?
Yes, it'll be a 5-year project, so it'll include hangars, and then extending the runway was the
Oh,
other
so-
part of it.
Oh, so
Mhm.
we are going to. check on
There's
extending
enough
the
grant
runway
money
then.
to
Okay.
do all of
And
it.
No
this is all
cost-
grant
At no
money.
cost to
Correct.
us,
Right,
Yeah.
I
right?
think we need to be very clear about that, this is grant
Yeah,
money.
this is
No
grant money.
cost to the
Everybody in
city.
YouTube land, grant
There is
money.
very seldom that you have 100% grants, but
Right,
pretty much
right.
everything that we do at the airport is 100% grant.
grant.
That's great,
Yeah.
that's great.
Treatment plant, we had, Randy is retiring in November, and, So we had not filled that position. Randy has been doing both, working water and sewer department. So the opening that we had in the sewer department, we actually had one of our workers that requested a lateral transfer, and that's Sean McDonald. So he's gonna be moving over to the treatment plant. And so we now have, we advertised for an opening in the water department. I think we have that one filled pending, some physical and drug testing that has to be done. So, our focus, like I put in there, is we caught ourselves with a lot of people that their training we haven't sent them to training and gotten them their certifications. So we're really focusing on that in those departments, so we don't catch ourselves without enough training in those departments. Citywide spring cleanup is April 25th, 26th, and 27th, and the following week, Bo and his crew will be doing tree limb pickup all over town. Curb, the guys will make the rounds all the way through town. That'll take, take a week or two for them to get all the way through town, so. Next thing.
Becky, excuse me a second.
Yep.
Going back to the treatment plant,
Mm-hmm.
when one of the people left, Sean Smart, was out there.
Sean has now received his certification.
He stepped up, studied hard, took the test,
Yes,
and has really done well
yes.
because of doing that. And I think that needs to be brought out to the council. I'm sure council all knew that because he was here whenever he did pass the test, but
Yeah,
he's really done, he has banded together, they work as a team together to do that.
They've kept us in compliance for months.
Yes.
And it's, they've done a great job
Really
out there.
kept us out of trouble.
Yeah, they do a great job out there. Election issue. I sent this out just to kind of make you aware. There was someone that contacted Kim the day after the election in Ward 3 because they felt like there was some people that there wasn't a name, wasn't on a ballot, that they weren't able to vote for this person. Obviously with us, when there's an election, Kim serves as the election authority, but all we do is take the candidates. We do the paperwork for them to sign up. We follow the guidelines set by the county clerk. All of that then gets turned over to the county clerk and they handle all of the ballots, the registered voters, all of that information is handled there. When I talked to her, she said they were checking in to make sure there wasn't an issue with their computer system, contacting the Secretary of State, make sure there wasn't any issues. They didn't find anything. And when I talked to her on Friday, she said they hadn't found any issues and she had only had 2 people that had actually contacted her with issues, and both of those had been resolved. One had been able to cast a provisional ballot at the polling place. The other one, there was an issue with her voter registration, and they had resolved that. At that time, she had not received any other complaints or any other issues, and she went ahead and certified the election results. So she doesn't feel like there's anything else, that there was any other issues.
I don't understand exactly what the issue was. Was there like a couple ballots that left a name off?
So there was some people that contacted and said they weren't able to vote for the person that they wanted to vote for in the ward that they were at.
Because it was
Or they went
coming
in,
up as a different ward?
or they went in and they were saying that they weren't registered.
Okay.
So this one person apparently was registered at another location, but when she moved, she did not check her registration once she moved. So she was given a
They let her
provisional
go ahead and do
ballot.
it.
And then, so if you see the election results that were posted on KY3 compared to the ones that were certified, there was like a 1 vote difference, and
Okay.
that was because those were counted, that provisional ballot was counted and they were allowed to cast their
That makes
vote.
sense. I was trying to make sense of it because that was the ballot I saw and I was like, all the names are on
Yeah.
there that I knew of.
Yeah.
So,
And
okay,
you
that
know-
makes
And
sense.
I think the person that first had some issues, maybe there might have been some confusion about where the ward lines were
I can
and
see
things
that,
like that.
yeah.
But I think, Lonnie told us that she felt like all of the issues had been resolved, and she certified the election results, so.
That makes more sense. Thank
You
you.
know, and just, that's to go show, if you move, you need to make sure you redo your voting cards and everything, so you're in the right spot.
Yeah, and I
to do
don't
that.
know,
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what the issues were with their registration. I just know that she said that they had resolved whatever issues that there was.
So to set the registration, there was no names by the county left off the ballot.
Not that I'm aware of.
It was, unless something comes up
All the
that,
ballots were the same.
they were all
Yeah.
the same, right?
Yeah.
It was It was about voter registration and where they were at in the ward and everything.
Yeah.
Okay,
And now it's easier than ever to know what ward you're in with our electronic maps.
There you go.
So
Exactly.
you wonder what ward you're in.
bet.
It's
Look it
very
up.
easy now.
Call,
in
make a phone call or
comparison.
look, yes.
The link is on the city's website.
Yep, that's right.
And I
That's
think
right.
it says on your voter ID card, or
Mm.
did,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
I think it
Has
does.
your ward number on
Right.
it.
Yeah,
Oh, it does? I didn't even notice. I just knew.
yeah,
what it
they,
was, and
I don't know
was-
why they send out voter
But you know,
registration cards, they don't
at that
want
point,
them,
if you move,
you know?
if you move
Yeah.
Weird.
and don't get another card and let them know that your
Yeah.
new address,
Yeah,
it may not, you may have the old card.
yeah.
We have to update it.
Yes.
Yep.
I think
yes.
whatever issues there was, I don't know if it was moving or what it was, I just know Lonnie said that there had only been 2 and that they had been
They've
addressed,
been resolved.
so.
Great.
Good.
Awesome.
Okay, emergency planning, obviously, this is an area I feel is extremely important. Our committee's doing a great job getting together, having regular meetings. We've, come a long ways towards developing our emergency plans for the city, identifying needs. One of the things was a command center vehicle, which we're working on maybe some donations for that. We're gonna update ID tags for employees. If there was, say a tornado went through town and they close off the city because of damage, or whatever, employees need an ID to where they would be able to get through those areas and, you know, come in where they're needed. Lots of training, practice drills for our police department and active shooter. We actually are gonna put staff through active shooter training. So we're just really making it a focus. Danny, his department, and Chief Gibbons, the school, we've all been working together with 911, having regular meetings and working on all this. And I think this is something the council needs to always have as a priority. I think we need to make sure that our emergency personnel are equipped to handle whatever they're tasked with, and I think it's important for us to
If,
keep that.
we do have a long-term incident here, any one of us could be serving in the emergency operating center, cause we serve shifts, if the mayor does his shift and everything, then it may be a councilman needs to go in and cover.
Mhm.
So, you know, we had emergency management training here several years ago.
I think I still have my little card.
ICS 100 and 200, but
Yeah, we wanna get IDs for everyone. Bobby's helping me with working on some of that. We wanna make sure everybody, you know, and there's gonna be things come up as we meet, you know, Mark can bring out things, our police department and fire department, to try to get us as prepared as we can ever be. You know, you're never prepared enough, but we really wanna make that a focus and, stay on top of that. The zoning recommendation, we already went through that. So the city vehicles, we had 2 that were budgeted this year, and we hadn't been able to find any anywhere. I mean, it's been months and months, or if we ordered one through anywhere, they couldn't even guarantee us. It could be a year, it could be 2 years, they didn't know. Danny and Fred had been working on it, and Danny actually found some for us at Republic. They're 23 models, they're new, but they're 23 models. And, we got the fleet price for them and got a good deal on them, and we were able to actually get those 2 vehicles in here for our parks and our water department. So,
Pickups?
yes. One is the one for the Parks Department is a crew cab, the one for the Water Department is a single cab, and
4-wheel drive
both
or
of them
anything?
are 4-wheel drive,
Fords or Chevys, Danny?
they're Fords.
Fords? Good man. Okay.
We're just happy to finally be able to find something. We found some through them and through, Piney River Ford at Houston, but the ones at Republic were about $8,000 cheaper than the ones at Piney River.
Because
So
of the,
we
because of the state bid thing.
No, there was a lot of equipment upgrades on the one at Piney.
Yeah.
That bumped the price. I mean, they were a good deal at Piney, it's just we didn't need all that.
We
extra
didn't need all that extra stuff.
No
for
bells
the
and whistles,
departments, yeah. We are equipping the one for the water department because they have to carry those barrels of bleach. We are equipping it with a lift gate on the back, and we are having the, bed, top and bottom, sprayed
Sealed.
to cover it cause that's what, it just wears out the bed on those when we haul
Sure.
that bleach and stuff around in them, so.
That makes sense.
The airport fuel system is still on target to arrive this month. They will actually come and install it. When they do that installation out there, it will actually be done by credit card. There'll be a machine there, nobody will have to be there. But any sales that we do out there is, we will have to pay excise tax on what we sell out there at the airport.
Which that's added to the price.
But we'll
'Cause
have to pay that in.
Cause I'm anxious because that makes real good fuel for your, since it doesn't have any alcohol in it for your small engines. Makes it a whole lot better in the wintertime. Yes.
That last one was just kind of for information for you. The postmaster, I had actually met with him because we were talking about, I have to assign new addresses when there's a new subdivision. And so I was just checking with him to see what they needed from me when I assign a new address. And he informed me that the post office is now, any new subdivision will no longer be allowed to have a mailbox at each individual house. They will have to have a bank of mailboxes at the entrance to the subdivision. That's a new rule that the post office is doing. He said the subdivision out on Town Drive, Country Drive, that got in just in the nick of time. Those people all have mailboxes at their house, but any new stuff that we do will have to have a bank. He said that they are looking at trying to do that everywhere. So it may come to a point where people, even in the rural area, that they're gonna make them all have a bank of mailboxes at the end of the dirt road, as opposed to having them at their home. So that's in the future, but for now, if we have any new subdivisions, that's how we have to do it.
Is that for both the trucks? Anything else, Becky?
That's pretty much it, unless you guys have some questions or comments for me.
Okay, if not, we have some bills to pay. There's one on here that I had a question about. It was $20,000 to wall mount. Is this the two-ton
Oh, that one?
ignition control board?
It's, I believe it was for the senior center. Was it, or was that for the fire department?
Where are we talking about?
Heating and cooling.
Heating and cooling ignition control board, $20,000.
That's the senior center.
That's the senior center heater, air conditioner, that's that. The box like's out here, isn't it? Okay, all right.
That's been quite a while back that they did all that.
Yeah, I
They
think, I
just-
remember, yeah.
But they just got,
And then, now you notice there on the two trucks are one, it's all together, that's,
yeah,
their price is one
Yeah.
thing, okay?
Yeah.
All right. Council, you looked at that, any questions or comments, or any, if not, I'll entertain a
Motion.
motion to approve the bills. Have a second?
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? And we're gonna go into closed session here in a minute, but we, Becky informed me, and I didn't put it on my agenda. Now's the time when we reorganize the board. We reorganize the board also for, Mayor Pro Tem in the absence of the mayor if I'm not here. So Webb Friend has been doing it, and he said he would do it again, and that'd be my recommendation. So unless the council wants to recommend somebody else, that's my recommendation. And I entertain a motion to approve Webb as Mayor Pro Tem for the, year, okay?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Mark, second.
Second.
Second by, who was that?
It was simultaneous,
Any
so
of us?
take your
Okay.
pick.
Carolyn, okay.
Carolyn,
All-
Jamie, does
Mark, how do you vote?
Yep.
Yes.
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 Okay, thank you. Now, I have a motion to go into executive session.
yeah, just real quick before you do, the budget report, Kim attached that for you. That's part of her job description at the end of each quarter to give you a budget update. And that will tell you, Dale, if you go through that, since you're new in there, it will show you at what % we are at in each one of those departments in that next to last column. So if you have any questions on that, just holler at Kim or I and we'll try to explain it. Mark's pretty familiar with it, so I know he's, all right, so now you can close session.
Motion to go in closed.
Motion.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. We'll take just a short break and then we'll be back.